Tonight on CTV News, we discuss CSU's plan to put all gendered restrooms into every building on campus, despite recent actions by President Donald Trump.
Plus, we talk about the success of the CSU men's and women's basketball teams, weather, entertainment, and more starting on CTV now. Good evening and thanks for tuning into CTV tonight. I'm Emily Biffinger.
And I'm Grace Reeder. CSU is looking to expand the number of gender-inclusive bathrooms on campus thanks to a local law. President Donald Trump recently put into place an executive order which would pull funding and support for transgender students. But Colorado is one of 17 states with local laws that are designed to protect transgender people in school and public places. In an interview with the Collegian, Eric Guerrero, director of the Pride Resource Center at CSU, said that the center is trying to get a policy passed that would require every new building on campus to have one gender-inclusive restroom and would also add gender-inclusive bathrooms to existing buildings. To see the current locations of gender-inclusive bathrooms, you can visit the Pride Resource Center's website, pridesourcecenter.colostate.edu. TEDx will be on campus Saturday from 11 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. in the Laurie Student Center. This year, TEDx will feature 9 speakers, including Jalen Coates, graduate student in the Student Affairs and Higher Education program at CSU, Ann Cleary, cognitive psychologist and professor in the Department of Psychology, and Corey Wong, special assistant to the president and director of the Women Gender Collaborative. The mission of this event is to spread initiative and bold ideas. Tickets are sold out according to their Facebook page. After an investigation into the practices of a Lairmer County Jail Deputy, one woman has resigned from her duties. Bryn Carmen was at the Lairmer County Jail earlier today.
Earlier this week, a Lairmer County Sheriff's Office employee resigned after investigation following her work practices. The probe into 37-year-old Bethany Williamson started January 25th when 2 inmates from different housing areas were found in the same room together, which is against policy, according to the Sheriff's Office. This initial investigation led to a second, which revealed that Williamson had misused a government website to look up confidential information about a case. Williamson resigned Monday before the investigation was complete, and no further details have been released into the ongoing probe. In an interview with the Coloradoan, Sheriff Justin Smith said if a deputy violated internal policies, or certainly the law, they will be held accountable. We will have more updates in this investigation as information becomes available. Back to Grace and Emily in the studio.
Thanks, Bryn. College is a stressful time for students and a busy time, which means less time at the gym. This week, CSU is celebrating Every Body for Body Acceptance Week. The event is meant to help students focus on positive body image and loving themselves. To celebrate this week, CSU hosted events aimed at helping break body stigmas, hosted sessions at the rec center, and handed out t-shirts on the plaza. When we get back, we have an interview with members of the Volunteer Fight Club here in Fort Collins.
Don't go anywhere.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Welcome back from the break. I am now joined by Kristen Draves, sorry about that.
Got it.
And Jessica Hazlett from the Volunteer Fight Club. Thank you ladies so much for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, definitely. I just was curious, what is the Volunteer Fight Club?
Volunteer Fight Club is kind of a volunteer matchmaking service within northern Colorado, specifically Fort Collins for now, and we're hoping to expand that as we get bigger.
Right. So the point of Volunteer Fight Club, we're a matchmaking service, so we take groups of people that want to volunteer together, and then we find a good nonprofit for them to work with. So if you've got 20 people that want to volunteer for Habitat for Humanity, we find those 20 people, we get them to Habitat for Humanity.
Perfect. And Jessica, you said you actually started this. How old is it now?
This started in November, so we're pretty new still.
Yeah, and about how much traffic do you think you guys have seen so far?
We've had quite a bit of support. We've got at least several hundred followers. We've got a website up. We've got 200 plus volunteers signed up for our Women's Day of Service.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
And
it's growing.
And to touch on the Women's Day of Service, when is that, and what kind of is that about? Like a brief summary of that.
So Women's Day of Service is going to be on March 25th. We've already actually closed registration for it because we actually got closer to 300 volunteers. So we closed registration on Tuesday. And we're basically just getting people out to all the nonprofits in Fort Collins and having a day of community service in Fort Collins.
Perfect. And then what are some of those tasks that volunteers will be assigned to do?
So we've got Habitat for Humanity that we're working with, American Red Cross, Homeless Gear. Basically, we're working with the city of Fort Collins as well. So any volunteer opportunity in Fort Collins, we have found people to match with that. And actually, we are looking for more organizations because we have 300 volunteers that are ready to get out there on that day. So if anybody wants to be an organizer that day, if there are any nonprofits that want to actually have volunteers show up that day, we're more than happy to send them to you.
That's amazing. And then how are people able to sign up? What's the easiest way for you guys?
So like I said, sign up is over now.
For volunteers.
For volunteers, if organizers want to sign up, they can actually go to womensdayofservice.com. And then that evening at High Point on College, we're going to be having an event for kind of a wrap event, but it's going to be a fundraiser. High Point is going to donate 10% of all sales from 6 to 8 p.m. to a charity that we're going to actually choose that night. So that would be pretty much the one way to get involved at this point.
And then another thing, especially for college students, why do you think this is so important? And about how many of the volunteers that you guys have so far, about 300 you said, how many of them are in that college range?
So we probably have 100 sorority members from different sororities that have volunteered. They're making up, I mean, we sent that out to quite a few of the sororities. If we missed anybody, shoot us an email at info@volunteerfightclub.com. We'll see what we can do.
That's right.
But the sororities were really quick to jump on it. It is a Women's Day of Service, so our main demographic is women, but actually everyone's welcome to come and volunteer.
I would say the reason it's so important, especially in a college level, is it's the easiest way and best way to affect your community directly.
Yeah, and nonprofits are starving for volunteers right now. I mean, always they're starving for volunteers. So get out there, volunteer, make a difference.
Awesome, that's amazing. And then do you guys have any other events planned or just looking forward this year? Anything new?
So we kind of talked about doing a monthly volunteer opportunity, but I think at this point, given the overwhelming response to the Women's Day of Service, we're probably going to do a Fall Day of Service as well. Yeah.
Also, we'll probably do something with the March on Science.
Yeah.
Try to get that together, and that's on Earth Day.
Oh, perfect.
So we'll tackle this event and we'll go on to the next one.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, thank you ladies both so much for being and joining me on here.
Thank you.
Up next, don't go anywhere. The Weather Center with Elizabeth Prassey will let us know what your weekend will look like.